what what you see as the best reason for the municipal schools and what you see as the best argument for the unified system. Germantown voted 87% for the municipal schools. So there's got to be, in your mind, since you're a Germantown resident, an overriding reason for a unified system, I would think. So Ken, you want to start first?
Yeah, our message has been consistent from the very beginning. Local control, tailored offering, smaller is better. There's 4 decades of research that pretty conclusively shows that large mega school districts are less efficient and less effective. In the school industry, in the school business, once you get bigger than about 25,000 kids, you begin to bake in inefficiencies. So smaller is better. Tailored offering, the needs, the priorities for students in Collierville may be different than the priorities for students in East Memphis. And the ability to tailor your offering to those needs is important. And local control is probably at the forefront of the reasons that Germantown is so strongly in favor of a municipal school district. The ability to ensure that the funding that comes into that school district makes its way into the classroom. And that's one of the big issues with a mega school district. The funding gets siphoned out through those layers of management and doesn't wind up being spent in the classroom.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
Well, quite frankly, we got involved in this lawsuit because the county school board sued us because we were going to redistrict the school board to reflect the population of the county. If they'd never sued us, we wouldn't be here today because they gave us standing in a lawsuit. They probably wish they now didn't. Our issue was then a one man, one vote. If the Memphis City School Board was going to go away, we were going to have a school board that reflected the population. Most of the county school board voted to sue us, not all of them, to protect that situation and not have representation for Memphis. That wasn't going to work. It's against the federal constitution. That's what started the dispute. The dispute of 2011 in the courtroom was that. When it became clear that the time was right and ripe, that we could challenge the constitutionality of special legislation, and the judge wouldn't let us argue it in 11, but he allowed us to bring it up in 12. As soon as the cities decided to put on their ballots the elections, that permitted the county commission, which had no standing in a court but for the fact the school board gave it to us. We sued to protect our position that the state doesn't need to tell Shelby County what to do unless they, according to the Constitution, unless they either let the county commission vote or the people of the whole vote. They didn't do that. We won that case.
What do you say to the citizens of Germantown who want their own district? What do you say to convince them that it's in their best interest to be part of the...
I'm glad you asked that question. In February of 11, while it was still being debated about whether the city council was going to confirm the giving up of the charter, whether the people of Memphis were going to vote and how they were going to vote, I suggested publicly several times to friends in Germantown, and I shared this with Mr. Hoover more than once, that I thought they ought to go the route of charter schools. There was no challenge. The new governor then, Haslam, had said, I'm going to allow charter schools everywhere. Shelby County had always opposed charter schools. Memphis had approved some, but Shelby County had always opposed them. So I guess that mindset was bothering everybody. But frankly, then and now that's probably the best solution.
Why? Why are charter schools better than a municipal school?
Because you can do them. You don't have to go run to Nashville and create some special legislation. They have the opportunity to have them. I mean, you got to deal with the laws you've got. I didn't write these laws. It was about 15 or 20 years ago when the General Assembly decided they didn't want any more municipal school districts in this state. They put that in place. And there's only one place in Tennessee right now that wants them. It's 5 or 6 suburbs in Shelby County. But that's not good enough. That's not good enough. You've got to, there needs to be a statewide support for it. There's not statewide support for municipal school systems. For a lot of very obvious reasons, which you probably don't have time to get into today, but the issue of what you asked me what I think they should do.
What
I have
why
not changed.
parents?
I have
What-
not. I think what they should have done then and should do now is organize charter schools.
Okay.